We are going to get into the design process. Okay, it's finally picked up on recording. I don't know what it still was. We're going to get into design. And the biggest thing that I know I personally struggled with whenever I started becoming a Canva user is like, how do I make my stuff look good? I mean, I want it to look like a professional did it, but I'm not sure where to go or what to do or what to get or things like that. So I'm going to kind of give y'all maybe some direction to go in today. There is another feature that I think is super cool and super important to share because I did not figure this out till recently. And I think it'd be kind of a game changer too. So if you have not logged into Canva yet, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just going to do this whole window so I can bounce back and forth in my tabs. Oh, I have frozen up. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Whew, I don't know what happened. My heart just sank though. All right, so I've got my window. If you go through Clever, we're going to go through Canva for Education, or you can just go to canva.com and log in with Google. Last time we talked about when we log in, now we have these teams that's going to throw you into your high school more than likely. That's a good thing. That means that you should have access to all of the free stuff we're going to look at today. So, by that, I mean mostly these elements that we're going to look at today. Those are the things that typically you have limited access to. So those are the things that are kind of important to have this free account with today. Also, with last week, things that I did not always know was you can have these folders and you can organize your designs by folders. I have figured out that even though I put something in a folder, it doesn't take it away from down here. So I was going to spend a lot of time organizing mine. Probably not going to do that now, but just a couple of things housekeeping wise. So, the first thing that I want to show y'all is this upload button over here. So with Canva, I'm going to drag this screen over really quickly. Within Canva, if you have something that is on a PDF, a PowerPoint, or a Word doc, you can upload it in Canva and then be able to edit whatever it is. So we kind of played around and figured this out. I had a coworker out here at central office. She had been to a conference and wanted to use some pieces of the presenter's presentation, which was fine. The presenter had given them permission, but it was only in a PDF. And like, you can save it like a Google slide as a PDF, but it's all just like running, you can't present from it. So I'm going to show y'all how to do that today because I know too, I've had PDFs that I've wanted to maybe change one or two things on too, if you've had permission to do so. So I've taken a presentation, I've already downloaded it on my computer, and then I just went to my homepage on Canva. I'm going to go to upload and I'm going to choose the files that I've downloaded. So I have gotten, you can't see my pop up. This is a PDF that I uploaded, which means that it is just a PDF file. And whenever I open it in Canva, this is the presentation that I sent y'all the Google Slide link to. Now I can edit all of the things. Now you will kind of have to be careful about the formatting. It can get off a little bit when it transfers over from being a PDF to the Canva file. But the good news is if you had something like that, now you can take this content and you can download it as a presentation and put it in another file that you need it in. Another way, oh, that was good. I had to close my tab. That's why I didn't open all my tabs. Another thing that you can do is if you want to take an existing presentation, if you're teaching and you really want to like jam up some of your presentations you're doing with your students, if you have something already saved as a PowerPoint and you want to upload it in Canva, you can upload that PowerPoint. You can see right there that the end part of my file tells me that it was a PowerPoint. And now it has uploaded and I'm able to edit this as a presentation. Again, some of the formatting may be off. Canva's not going to have all the same fonts and things like that you may have used, but I think it's really one of those work smarter, not harder things where we can take content we've had that we've designed the old way and we can kind of freshen it up with our elements that we're going to talk about in Canva. So super helpful. Hopefully that if you have anything like that. Another thing that I did just to kind of play around with this is a scribe that I did this week. That's where I do the different directions and stuff like that. If you needed to take your directions and put something in there for your own, or needed to add in some boxes or stars or whatever, it has all of the things. I can edit the text, I can edit the pictures. So super cool, super helpful. Hopefully that you will benefit from that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about are elements. So, elements are the pretty stuff that we put on our designs in Canva. So, just for the sake of talking about all this right now, I am just going to open up just a plain portrait flyer. Like, I'm just going to let this be 100% blank. So, usually, if you open up something blank, it kind of prompts you for some designs. I've been working on my daughter's birthday invitations. So that is why there's a lot of birthday invitations in there. Also, if you're one of those moms, if you have paid for Etsy invitations for years like I have, now that you're going to be Canva Pro, you can do them in Canva. Um, but under elements is where we add the stuff that we want to be on our design. Graphics are going to be the most kind of popular thing. That's going to be the cutesy, like clip art style icons and things like that. You have different shapes. There's also stickers, and then there's pictures. You can kind of search the web for some pictures that are having Canva, some videos. There are charts, tables. I'm going to talk about photo frames in a minute, and then there's some collections. So this is the part where it gets kind of overwhelming. You're like, I have no idea where I want to start. So, one thing that I want to show y'all that I have given you links to is some suggestions. So, this Google Drive file, I've had this forever. I think I got it off Twitter. It's literally some things to search for to give you some ideas for elements. So, like pink rose alphabet. So, if you go in and you put pink rose alphabet in that little search box in elements, you're going to get these letters that have these pink roses on it. I mean, I would never think to search KT boho, whatever that is, but they're boho themed graphics. So if you really want to be a Canva superstar, but you're not sure where to start, these are some good ideas. I love the doodle ones. There's lots of different kinds of doodle. That's where all your elements are going to look hand drawn, things like that. And there's 100 of these on this. So this can give you some inspiration. There is another one that just has 10 hidden elements from Ditch That Textbook, but I've used these a lot. The sketch and the doodle, those are kind of like little emphasis things to put around there. So I'm going to go back to my design and I'm going to put some of those in there. So I'm going to click back on here. I'm going to do watercolor circles. And it's going to search in all my different things, but I'm going to focus on the graphics right now. Like I said, that's going to be kind of where your clip art style things are. Everything with the little graduation hat on it, the EDU, those are things that are in the premium plan, which we have access to. If you're logged into a personal account that's not through the Chilton County School District, you may not see all this. But because you're part of the school district, you have access to this. So let's say I wanted to do a really cute little banner across the top. All we do is click it and drag it over to our sheet. And then we're going to put some dots. We can adjust it, kind of drag them off and be real cutesy and creative. So another thing I want to talk about with our elements is if you've ever worked with any type of like design software on our template that we're doing right here, you can layer different things. And so that's something to think about too in Canva. So if I wanted this dot right here, but I wanted that blue dot to go behind that red dot, I can do a right click on it and layer, and I can send it backwards. And now it's behind the red dot. So again, just one of those things to think about whenever you want to design is just kind of, working around different things, the way you think you want it to look. Really, it's just a personal preference. I'm just kind of trying to show y'all different things that I've learned so that you can cutesy up your designs. And then sometimes based on what you're choosing, Canva is pretty intuitive. It's using generative AI to see, okay, well, she's kind of leaning in this direction. Like, I'm going to show her some more things that she may like. So that's kind of helpful too. I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to put, let's see what one of my other ones was. Okay, sketch alphabet. That one is super cute. I could spell. So now I'm going to have alphabet letters that all look like they're like hand sketched. And most of the time, if you click on one, it's going to give you the whole collection that you can then look at, and you can go find your other letters that you need that are going to be similar to that. It may take some searching, depending on what you want, to look for and things like that. But you should be able to find the majority of your items. So if I wanted this to be, like a little emphasis on here, you can also take this and you can kind of turn it and angle it so to be real cute on bold over your letter. Using my hands a lot today, y'all. Sorry about that. So elements, a ton of stuff out there, literally anything that you want to look for. You just kind of have to, you can get some inspiration from those links that I gave you with those hidden elements. And then once you kind of familiarize yourself, you can start adding in your own stuff, or you can start kind of searching for your own things. Okay, so basic shapes. If you click on shapes, this is where we can get some cute little lines. Also, another thing, I did this, I was doing some templates for work. I just did kind of borders or banners, and I was looking for some Halloween stuff. So you can add these in, and then you would stretch them to fit your whatever you're doing. And then I would probably like send that all the way to the back, and then you could do design on top of it. You can also do, like little things like that to add them onto the page. So if you just put like border or banner or things like that around it, you can find some really cute things to go on there too. Stickers are most of the time going to be moving, which is fine. That is super cute, especially if you're publishing something. There's a cute little sticker on my Canva Crazy website that's pointing to that slides link that's moving. If you're going to export it somewhere, though, you're going to have to export it as an MP4 so it will play, or GIF. You can do it as a GIF so it will play your sticker. I had a happy birthday explosion one running on the e-posters out here at Central Office. So those are definitely something to add some pizzazz to your product. I was trying to not use the word template again. Okay, another thing is your photo frames. So we can find different sizes and shapes and things like that of how we want some pictures to look. So I'm going to be real crafty here for a second. I'm going to go find a K for my name. So I went to elements. Let me go back. I might have gone too fast. And I went down to frames right here. See all. Any of these shapes that you want to pick, whenever you put it in your design, and then you go, I'm going to show you where to upload photos in a second, and then you can add photos, and all you have to do is hover it over your frame, and it's going to snap it into your frame. So I've picked my photo frame. I got a K for Katie. I'm going to go down here to upload. So now this is just stuff that I have downloaded on my computer and uploaded because I need it. It's real easy. Upload files. The box comes up where you pick your files, you upload it, and you go from there. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have a photo. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. I have a photo of myself. So I'm just going to drag it over and put it in that frame. And of course, it cuts my head off. We'll try this one. That's a little bit better. And so it just snaps my photo into that frame. You can also just go back to your elements and find something, if you just wanted a cute little curved frame, you didn't want anything, or, to look like you were looking on a computer. That's nifty. Let me go back to my uploads. So I can put our Chilton Schools logo on there. And it looks like that is on the computer. So it's just another way to just add a little bit of style to your pictures. You can upload any type of file, I believe, that is a JPEG or PNG. You can also upload some videos, and you can also upload your own audio too if you want something like that imported on there. And then it's just super simple. Even if it's something that you just want to add on there, you just click it once and drag it over. So super easy to put your own things on your designs. Also under elements, collections. Again, if you aren't really sure where you want to go with that, I'm gonna add a new page real quick. This one, collections kind of give you things that all have the same theme. So sometimes, like if I find myself I'm designing something, I'm like, oh, that kind of like looks odd man out, like it has a different style or the coloring's off or whatever. So if you want to find something that's in a collection, then you have things that are all kind of the same style that you can put into your design and it looks like a professional did it because now we're all going to be Canva pros. So collections are another good place for a beginner to start. Okay. I have not been monitoring the chat, but if you have a question, you can put it in the chat, or you can wait till I stop the recording at the end and ask it then. But now I'm actually going to go into some templates and kind of give some suggestions for some things that I think may be popular things for y'all that people may want to design. Another thing that I want to point out, it is linked in here. If you actually click on this picture in the slideshow, it is a link to a bunch of template shortcuts. So this would be just something, if you have a couple of teachers that are like, I want to use Canva, but I don't know where to start. They can just click on one of these shortcuts and it will take it straight there. There's for classroom community as a category, student activities, and then teaching resources like presentations and classrooms and things like that. So that's another good little resource that I have listed for y'all. So I'm gonna go back home. The first thing that I was going to just kind of give some advice on is Google Classroom headers. I think that's something that everybody could probably benefit from. I have just typed Google Classroom header in the search bar at the top, and there are 28 or 2,837 templates for me to choose from. So these can be used in Google Classroom. They also can be used as a Google Site header. I have also taken this and put it at the top of a Google Doc too. It's kind of like a banner of a Google Doc. So super versatile. The only thing that you need to be careful with in Google Classroom, just going to open up one really quickly to show y'all. You can kind of see the background for them. So I make a different one for my Google Boot Camps and I put a different color on every one of them. But whenever you are looking at the classroom, your classroom title is always going to be in the bottom left corner. So if you want to put some information or something on that, be careful of that bottom left side because Google's going to put their Google Classroom title on there and it'll cover up whatever you have on there. So I try my best to always kind of put my things in the top. And you can see right here for this logo or this one that I've done, I have the Chilton logo and a Google logo on there, but you can't really see it because it's faded out a little bit. So just things to keep in mind whenever you're looking at designing those. I'm just gonna, let's see. I've used this one before. I think it's super cute. Also, I know it can get overwhelming to like look at these choices, but if you pick one and you're like, okay, I kind of like that, it will give you some suggestions of some things like, okay, well, maybe you like this a little bit more. But we're just going to click customize this template. What is great is everything is already sized right for you. You don't have to worry about that. And you can click on your text and edit your text. You can add in your own elements. And what is really nice, this one may have been a bad example. Let me pick another one that's got some stuff on it. We'll pick this one. Is that for some of these things, maybe you can change the colors up on them too. So for this microscope right here, you're like, yellow is really not my color, and I would rather that be that blue. You can actually click on a lot of these things and you can change the color scheme of it. So, I mean, that makes it kind of a little bit more even personalized than it was before because you can take something that they already have stock on there. You also can click on your background and you can change your background color to be whatever you want it to be. Basically, anything that you find that you click on, if you see that little color dot right there, you're going to be able to adjust your colors. Another tip is if I want my colors to match really well, let's say I'm going to do something, I'm going to put my Chilton logo on it. So I'm going to go back over here and grab my Chilton County Schools logo. It's a really bright green Chilton County Schools logo. When I go back over here to my design part and I'm wanting to try to add text, there we go. In here, Well, I'm gonna have to add something really quickly. You are I'll fix this and make it pretty in a minute. Once I click on that text and I go to the colors, Canva will pull out the exact colors of whatever element you've put in there so that you can make your items a perfect match for that. So I personally think that's super cool too, that you don't have to try to match the colors and worry about them being super off. As far as adding text and stuff goes, Canva has got some really cool font combinations already lined out. And if you don't like the colors, that can all be changed. Let me add this right here. So all I do is click on my words and I find my A and I decide that I want those to be white and I want that today to be the same green, even though I really can't see that. But Canva has picked up those colors for me out of that photo. So you can do that. You can just add your little bit of text. Text boxes work the same way as they do in Google Slides. Just typing random things in for the sake of demonstrating. Another thing that we have lots of access to are lots of fonts. Again, if you did not have the premium education version like we have, you wouldn't have quite as many font choices as we have. So you can choose, like, if you want a handwriting font, a more display font, something modern, and literally the possibilities are endless. I searched Halloween, I think, as one and got all kinds of like Halloween fonts. So if you're wanting to do some things to advertise for the upcoming holiday, like if you are doing a dance or if you're wanting to do, your own Halloween party invitation, there's all types of things that you can do, like, the um, newspaper things right there. I love this little creepy one that looks like everything's kind of, going down, scary stories. Um, Lots and lots of things to choose from for that. So again, choices can be overwhelming. This is one of my personal favorites. It's what my signature is, and I tend to use it on a lot of things that I make. So if you see that cursive font, I feel like it's the perfect one. It's called Apricot. So if you need to search for that because you like it, feel free to use that. So um, now that we have our headers, I'm going to just delete this one because I'm not going to download this one for right now. So, also in Canva, it's really easy to add pages. And if you want to add something and just change a little bit of it, you can always duplicate the page. That's what those buttons do right there. You can hide them from the viewers if you're doing it, or don't allow somebody to delete the page or things like that. But that's what those kind of buttons do right there. So I'm going to delete that one. So when I get ready to save this to go in my Google Classroom, I'm going to come up here to share, and then I'm going to go to download, and I want my file type to be either a PNG or a JPEG. Either one is going to be fine for Google Classroom, but those are the types of file types that Google Classroom accepts. So you're going to want that on there. Okay. So that is Google Classroom headers. I am going to jump back over, and email signatures is another one that I was going to do today because everybody loves their email signature to be super cute. So again, possibilities are endless. This is where you may want to incorporate those photo frames if you want a picture of yourself on your signature. You can also look for business cards if you want a much more simplistic signature. This one is not bad. This is just my personal preference. I picked one that had a white background because I didn't want I didn't want you to be able to see the rectangle. I want it to look a little bit more natural in my email, but that is my personal opinion. Just the way that I wanted to do it. Also, if you pick something like this, you can use background remover within Canva too. So I'm just going to do this one for right now. We'll use it so we can do the background remover. So if we decided we did want to do a fancy background with this, we can choose a color, and they have some gradient colors and things like that. So this one, we'll do that. It's a little bit neutral. Also, it should, hopefully, if you have your signature and you want your signature to include the Chilton County Schools logo, I have put that into your brand kit. Hopefully, you will, if you click on brand right there, you should see that. Maybe I don't have them because I'm the one that set them up, maybe. I don't know, I can look into that. I've had some people been able to find them, so if not, I will work on finishing that, but there should be the Chilton County Schools logo over there. With our pictures, though, let me go find that photo again. If I wanted to use this photo, but I want the background removed, you have those editing tools within Canva. So the background remover is part of our premium package. So it's up here, super simple. That's something that a lot of people like to do is that background remover capability. So you just highlight your picture, which it kept the chairs and stuff. That's totally fine. You also can, there's a couple of other editing tools, edit, that you can do too. You can add filters, you can do some different effects, you can change the blur capability. You can even retouch your picture. So, if you want to use Canva, I saw some fantastic football ads done this year with Canva, and their parents made them. So, you know, I know sometimes like you may pay people to make them for you, but you could do a whole lot with a Canva template and background remover and some frames. You might could even do a cute little paw print for tigers or, megaphones for cheerleaders, basketballs, all sorts of stuff for your football program ads or sports program ads, I will add. So lots of things that you could do with pictures. And then you would just enter in all your information on here that you needed. And again, to go in your email signature, you would download that as a PNG or a JPEG, and then you would directly upload it into the settings. You would go to settings in your email and scroll almost all the way to the bottom of the first page, and there is signature on there. You click on the little mountain media button, upload your picture, and it is in there, good to go. I do have a template. I'm going to jump over to my Chilton Canva. I had made a email signature template. It's super basic. It just has the Chilton County Schools logo on it. You put your name, your position, your phone number, address, website, whatever you want in there. So if you really want to jam up your email signature, there's a basic template for you, or you can be creative and find something else that you want to use within Canva. And let's see, award certificates. It's not really that time right now, but I think that this would be. I remember like having to Google for an hour or so looking for specific certificates because I used to teach earth science way back in the day. And whenever I gave out earth science awards, I wanted it to have a volcano on it or space or things like that. So um, I think that doing award certificates in Canva would be very, very nice. And somebody shared earlier too that you can actually import your names. I think it was Beth, so that it will fill in your names for you too. And it does give you an option to print also. I mean, you can order through Canva just like you would like Vistaprint, things like that, but obviously you can still download it as well, and print them yourself too. So this one has got all types of awards, mad scientist, busy bee, and things like that that you can do. We're going to close out of those printing options because we do not need those. And then you would just go through and put in your names if you just needed one. Or I was going to look into the way that you could import those names. I just did not do that before. I'm going to put myself a note for next time. A mail merge feature. I had written that down too whenever Beth had told me that too. So I can look in that and figure that out for y'all. We have plenty of time before May. I know we're all trying to wish it away right now, or December whenever you're finishing up classes too. So award certificates would be a huge time saver to do that in Canva also. And then the last one I had on my list that I was going to look at for today was going to just be a classroom newsletter because they have lots of formatting on them. And so sometimes whenever you pick something like this, we'll choose this cute little fall one right here. Customize this template. You may not want some of these boxes or things like that, or you may want to, move any of this stuff that's on here is going to be editable by you. And so one thing that is a helpful tip, so like these upcoming event things right here, those are three separate boxes with dates and things like that. But if I wanted to move all that, one little trick I want to show y'all, if you click and drag, oh, you got to kind of be careful because that's got something else that big box is picking up. You can like group these together and you can move everything around as a group. So if you're wanting everything to kind of stay together in a little chunk, you can do that. You do have to be careful because whenever I started dragging that to begin with, if I did it too far out, I'm going to pick up these leaves that are right there. I'm pointing at my screen like y'all can see me point. And so that's going to be like, oh man, I don't want that to go with me. Command Z is always your friend, even in Canva. So you also, something that kind of took me a while to figure out if I want to make my own shape. So let's say I wanted to put a box around all this up here. Okay. Obviously, I have just grayed out my text. So one of the things that we want, this little checkerboard that's faded up here, that's our transparency. So we want that to be not at 100. We want the shape to, here it is. We want the color to be emptied, but we want the border to be that burnt orange color. So there we go. I knew I'd get it right in a second. And then you can adjust your box. So if you want boxes around things or shapes, that's going to be an element under shape. And even though it's solid, I will run through all that really quickly too, because that's something that took me a minute to figure out. Another thing that you could do if you want it to be a solid box, we can just right click on, well, that's making me do position, and we can send that to the back. And now all of my text is in the front of my shaded box. You also could have clicked on the text box and moved it to the front too if you wanted to. But if you want it to be just a border and transparent, you can change your color to not have any color, and then you can have your border be the color. It looks like that leaf element right there needs to be sent all the way to the back too, so our border's on top of it. It takes a while. It really, if you just kind of get in there and play with stuff and go from there. It is helpful, I think, to start with templates. I'm not a big from scratch creator. Sometimes I just pick a template that I think is kind of sort of close to what I want and then go from there. So checking back, I think I have covered everything today. Is there anything that anybody wants to ask? Well, I'll stop the recording where I am for right now, so that if somebody wants to ask something, you don't have to like listen to yourself forever. Make it out of that. And I will say before I stop the recording, on November, let me find my day. November 14th, we're going to do advanced. We're going to do whiteboards and presentations and video of our presentation. So that one is going to be some of our fancier things. I did do a whiteboard with our administrators last week. They did not love it, but you may love it and want to try it with your kids. So I hope that if you joined us this time, you learned something and that you will join us next time.